Hey, so my name's Tom Powers. I'm a Senior Program Manager here at Carbonite, and I was on the team that helped bring E2 to market, and so we're going to talk about E2 today. I'll just go to that slide right there. And if you haven't heard about what E2 is, I can give you some background. So we purchased eVault, Carbonite that is, back almost a year ago now, and eVault was kind of the enterprise-grade technology to go along with Carbonite's consumer, simple, easy-to-use products. And we spent about 10 months with engineering teams on both sides, a very talented set of engineers, on making it so that the eVault product could have the same attributes and principles that traditional Carbonite products had, which is basically simple, easy to use, no extra work than necessary. And we are very happy to say that we've achieved that goal with E2 as a product, and we've created a great entry point into the enterprise-grade, growth-driven technology that eVault offers. And we think we've got the best all-in-one hybrid backup solution available to small businesses. And so we're very excited about it, and you're going to learn about it today. And so we're going to tell you a little bit more about E2, tell you exactly what it is, what we mean by all-in-one hybrid solution. We'll tell you about how it's differentiated. Then we're actually going to go out on a limb and do a live demo. And so that's one thing we didn't do before. We showed a video that had a demo. We're actually going to show a live demo, and the machine that I'm on right now has eVault installed, and we're going to show you how it works, and we're going to actually install, set up a backup, configure a backup, and then and show you around the dashboard a little bit and what the capabilities are. And so we'll do that, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail about the product, and then which are some material that we didn't have before, as well as how E2 plays with eVault as a whole and what that means as you grow out of the ideal E2 footprint into bigger footprints. And then we'll talk about the opportunity for channel partners. We'll frame the eVault technology with competitors, not specific to E2, but the eVault technology. And then we'll go back into the demo environment and show you what our store looks like, and then end with Q&A if we have time. Okay, so with that, I'll jump into a little bit more about what we mean by an ideal hybrid backup solution for a small business. And so, as mentioned, E2 brings the power of the enterprise-grade eVault technology and combines it with the simplicity that Carbonite has been known for years. And it's the first eVault product that's specifically designed for the Carbonite channel. And we've got a whole hardware-as-a-service model on the eVault side that this is an entry point into that we're really excited to marry up with. And so it is the perfect size for the SMB. And so we've designed it to fit a part of the market that we think is underserved. And so it's for end customers that are looking to back up half a terabyte or a full terabyte, and that's on a protected footprint basis. So what you'll find as you learn more about E2 is simplicity is the theme throughout, and you'll see simplicity in the offer, simplicity in the pricing, simplicity in the product. And when you see protected footprint, that's where one of those factors, those principles really comes into play. So we don't charge based off of what hits our cloud. We don't charge based off of configuring and changing retentions. We very simply charge based on what you're looking to protect. So if you've got 3 servers and the combined size that is existing on those disks is, let's say, 625 gigs, then your protected footprint is 625 gigs, and your ideal option is the 1 terabyte. And so really simple model. And another thing to point out is it's an all-in-one solution. And so you might have seen some other solutions where you try to mix and match and price for support, and then price for, you have to pay for the hardware. This is all-in-one. So it's an all-in-one service. Support comes with it. Replacement of the hardware if there's ever an issue comes with it. Refreshing of the hardware once it's depreciated is included, as well as the service of the product itself. Another thing I'll mention is security. And so we've got 256-bit AES encryption both in rest and in flight. which is a key compliance indicator for us, or a compliance factor for us. So it's a very secure, military-grade encryption, so that's something that we pride ourselves on with this product. And from a form factor perspective, it's a micro appliance, so it's very small. It weighs under 6 pounds. It can fit on a desktop. It can fit in a server room if you've got rack space, and you don't have to use rack space to use it. So that's another factor here. So we're really excited about it, and I'll just talk about the value proposition now. And so eVault technology has been around for about 20 years, and it is an enterprise-proven technology. There are thousands of eVault appliances out in the field today that are working. The E2 technology is on that same platform, and it has some really cool high horsepower factors like forever incrementals. So you only ever have to do one full backup, which is a really key feature for us. On a technical level, it also has block level backup, so it makes it really efficient. It's also very flexible, so we more than any other SMB product we've ever released to the Carbonite channel, it supports more platforms than we ever have, and we'll go over that on a slide a little bit later. Also, it's priced very competitively, so we feel it's priced to meet that small business customer. It's also, as I mentioned, ease of use and simplicity is seen throughout the product, and so the model, all-in-one service model, we think makes it very simple and easy to handle, as well as the device itself. It's an appliance. It's a hybrid backup appliance, and so the model is really simple. So you install an agent on the server you want to back up, and that agent has automatic settings, automatic retention that you don't have, that the customer or person setting up doesn't have to spend much time setting up, and I'll show that in a second. And that will back that server up to the appliance. Then the appliance will just replicate to our cloud. And so not only does the appliance serve as a local backup solution that you can recover from, it also serves as an auto configuration agent. So what it does is, because we have a physical appliance there, it kind of works as an intermediary between systems, so that when you go on site and you plug that appliance in, it will recognize itself on the network and auto-configure, so that as a customer, once you've plugged it in and give it time to boot up and configure, the rest is history. The rest is easy. And so there's no professional services or on-site services needed. And so that's another thing that we're happy to bring to the market for such a strong technology that is eVault. And so that's really the value proposition. As far as how the retentions work, I want to go into a little bit more detail there. And so with this offer, you have a year of backups offered. So what does that mean? And so when you set up your appliance, it will do an initial full backup, and I'll show you that in a minute. Then it will be forever incremental backups thereafter. But the software is smart enough to break up and tag the block level changes in such a way where it, in a very efficient manner, keeps a year of backups without needing a bunch of space on the appliance or in the cloud. And that factor right there, that technical factor right there, is what allows us to price based on protected footprint. Because we're so confident in the efficiency of the product itself that we're willing to price based on what the space on the server that's being backed up, not what hits our cloud. And so the default retention is an image, it's based off of an image backup, so we'll be backing up the full image, which will allow for any type of restore, and we'll go over restores in a little bit as well. And it will always keep the last 7 days on the appliance, and then the last 30 days in the cloud. And then once a month, the previous 11 months, to allow you to restore from any of those states over the past year. And so another factor is you can do any of our restores from the cloud directly to your server or from the appliance. And we also offer, which I'll show you in a second, bandwidth throttling options. So if you have specific needs, you can certainly edit the settings there from our management portal. And we also have granular restore capabilities. So if you're backing up Exchange, SQL, SharePoint, or let's say an Oracle database, we have plugins that allow you to do restores at a granular level if you're looking for something more than just the image backup and image restore offers we have. So just to talk a little bit more about the broad support we offer. So we offer backup for Windows Server, of course, as well as Linux and VMware and Hyper-V. And so those are really the base platforms that we offer. And then, as I mentioned, we do offer plugins to do granular restore from SharePoint, from SQL, or from Exchange. And so it's very easy for you or your end customers to protect an environment that is diverse both from a multiple server perspective and also a multiple platform perspective. Our offer includes all of these platforms, and it includes unlimited number of servers to back up, all very simply based off of that protected footprint I mentioned. Again, we really are confident and tout the simplicity of that offer. There's no mixing and matching how many agents or how many servers you could back up. There's no paying extra for support. It's all in the offer, and you'll see the pricing in a few minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to switch to the demo environment here, and I'm going to log into our live eVault portal here and show you how to configure a first backup. So at this point in the demo, I've received my E2, which has a one-pager of instructions on how to set up. I have already received an automatic email based on my order with my user credentials. I've taken those user credentials and I've logged in to the eVault portal. Upon logging in, I can add a computer and download the agent to the server based on the OS that I want. So I'm showing you that here. You can see the different base platforms that we offer the agent to be installed. To save time, because we don't have all the time in the world on this demo, I've already installed the agent on a server that I want to back up. So as soon as just a little bit more technical detail about the agent itself, it is a headless agent. So you'll only have to install it once. You install it on the server you want to back up, and there's no UI or interface on the server for that agent. The agent communicates directly with our portal, and you manage the agent and subsequently the backups and restores on our centralized management portal. And so that's a key aspect of this product. So not only do you manage the backups and configure them from the portal, which is anywhere in the world as long as you can log in, you also manage the restores remotely. So unless it's a bare metal, in which case you download recovery media and put it on the brand new server that you're recovering from, you would do your restores from this portal on the server you're backing up via the agent, through the portal, and the restores are done through that agent, that headless agent on the server. And so once the agent's set up, and you've entered your credentials, it will automatically recognize which portal site it's tied to, and it will pop up in your dashboard. And you'll see this right here in the What's New, and you'll click Configure Now. And so that's what I'm going to do. Then we're brought to this screen where we're asked for a password for that job or for that backup. And so this is the encryption, part of the encryption we talked about. And so this is a very key aspect. This is a password that we don't keep on our side, on the Carbonite or eVault side. This is a password that the user keeps, and if they lose it, unfortunately, nobody could be able to recover it, and they wouldn't be able to do a restore. So this is a key piece where they're asked to enter their password, and they need to make sure they keep it. So for now, I'll just enter something random in here, and I'll click Auto Configure. And so what it's doing now is it's using the base set of options that we have that come default with E2, and it's auto-configuring the agent for backup. And that's an image job on a base schedule with forever incremental backing up every day. And as you can see, it's already completed. And so we're going to go to the agent. And so we're backing up Windows Server 2012, R2, and it's going to load some details about the job here. And so the job's all set up. If I let this go now, it will run tonight based on the schedule. And let me show you the schedule. So here you can see we've got a monthly backup that's going to run at 9 p.m. every month, and then we've got a daily backup that runs at 9 p.m. every day of the week. And you can see it's all set up, and again, if I were comfortable with this schedule, I can let it go. This server is all configured and ready to back up, and overnight at 9 p.m. it will start its initial backup. For the purposes of this demo, though, I'm going to go ahead and run the job right now. I'm going to start the backup. And so we hope that, and it'll give us a screen here and show us that it's backing up. So we hope that the backup will be complete by the end of the webinar, so we can show you what Restore looks like. And so yeah, just a couple other things I want to point out here. So there's a Users tab that is key. One thing that as we've released this and we've had conversations with partners, I want to make sure we point out. And so as a partner, if you sell E2 to an end customer or to multiple end customers, you'll only ever have one portal login. And you'll have the ability to basically manage all of your E2 customers through that one login, through one dashboard in our portal. And so even if you get it, let's say to 20 E2s, you'll see all 20 E2s, you'll be able to manage them individually, and there'll be end users created for each of those E2s where they can only see their portion of the dashboard and their portion of the management portal. And so as a partner, should you choose to set it up that way, you could basically remotely manage and provide support for all of your E2s through one dashboard, through one login. And so that's a key use case that we're really excited about. There's also the option with the same capabilities for the end user to manage it themselves. So we offer flexibility on both sides. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint here and talk about the true remote management that you just saw. And so as mentioned, this is a headless agent. And so there's nothing for you to interact with on the server itself. All of the configuration and restores are done through the portal that you just saw. And there's also robust reporting that's offered as well. So you can take a look at usage. You can take a look at whether a recent incremental backup failed and why, or whether there's an issue with the backup. You can configure it to send you emails automatically. All that type of stuff is configurable from the portal related to your account or user. And as mentioned before, you can create and manage as many users as you want to fit your needs as a partner or to fit the end customer's needs for whatever environment or whatever setup they have. And so really something that we haven't had on the Carbonite side before is this really cool remote managed centralized management portal which E2 and the eVault stack allows us to have. So a key aspect of this offering. Okay. This screen, I think, we've added in to give a little bit more of a technical detail about what each of the agents offers and supports. And so nothing I'm going to go through in detail. As you can see, it's a little bit of an eye chart, but I wanted to provide this so that people, those that are interested in the full compatibility matrix for each of our agents and each of what we support, I wanted to show this to you so that you can see it. I know last time in one of the webinars we did in October, there were some specific questions, so I wanted to provide this so that you guys can have it. So, okay. Restore options. So let me talk about Restore a little bit in a little bit more detail. So we really offer three types of restores with E2. And so the first one, which is probably the most common one, is remotely is a file level restore. And so how that works is what you would do is you would go into the portal and click Restore, and I'll show this once the backup that we just started completes. Hopefully it completes. We can demo it for you. You basically click Restore, and you choose the individual file or folder option, which you see screenshotted there. And what it does, it actually remotely mounts the whole backup image based on the date you choose. Again, in that annual retention detail that I gave a little while ago, you can choose any of those dates. So 30 days ago, 6 months ago, whatever. And it will remotely mount that image based on the save set or the date that you chose and allow a user on the server Now, to securely see that drive and pull files from that drive as needed for as long as they need. And then when it's done, you simply click stop on the portal, and that drive will disappear and the restore is done. And so hopefully I'm able to demo that for you in a few minutes, but that's the first type. The second type is actually replacing a whole volume or drive that has maybe died or been replaced. And so, again, this is done remotely from the portal. You can see that's restore entire data volume option there that we have in the screenshot. And essentially you choose a drive that maybe would have died or a new drive on the server that you want to restore from a backup, and it will replace the volume C drive, if you're backing up the C drive, on the drive you choose on the source server. And so yeah, the main scenario this covers is if a drive dies and you replace it and you want to get back to a state that you were previously, this would allow you to do it and would allow you to do it remotely. The third is the bare metal restore option. And so you can download recovery media straight from the portal like I showed. And a key thing I want to point out with this is you can download that recovery media at any time. So if you remember with our old Carbonite appliance, you needed to make sure you downloaded the recovery media before you were in a state where you needed to do a restore. That's not the case here. And so once you download the recovery media, you put the bootable drive, which comes with the offer, by the way. We ship you an 8 gigabyte thumb drive with the product. You boot it, you plug it into the new server when you're booting up, and it will prompt you through the right directions, and you'd be able to do a bare metal restore from any of the safe sets or backups I mentioned in the last year if you've been backing up for a year. And so those are the restore options. I hope to show you number one in a few minutes. Okay. Now I want to talk a little bit about what the growth opportunity is for your customers once they get past the 0.5 terabyte or 1 terabyte protected footprint that we offer. So, you know, you might have an end customer that is at 800 gigabytes and they're growing pretty rapidly and they want E2, but they're worried about what happens after E2, what happens after they're at 1 terabyte. And so, as I mentioned at the top of the webinar, E2 is built on eVault software, which we have thousands of appliances out in the field for today. It's not built on any different type of platform. It's not configured differently. It has automation to make the product easier to use and simpler, but it's all on the same platform. And so on the eVault side, we actually have the same all-in-one hardware as a service model for rack-mounted form factors all the way up to 10 terabytes. And it's uses the same portal, uses the same Vault cloud technology. So for your customers that end up growing past the 1 terabyte protected footprint we offer, they can very easily transition into one of our hardware as a service or hybrid rack mount offers on the eVault side with minimal product disruption other than getting a new appliance and plugging it in and setting it up. And so all their portal settings, all their portal users and everything would remain the same. And by the way, it's on a similar price curve. So as the customers grow outside of E2 and into the eVault platform, they will not get totally disrupted or taken off guard with price changes. The E2 is priced on the same price curve as the rest of eVault. So we've really built this to allow for a smooth transition upward. So I think that as you talk to your end customers, and they're the type of end customer that's growing pretty rapidly, I think this is a very nice thing to position for them, that what they're doing is they're entering into a stack that they can grow with over the long term. And let me just mention as well, eVault itself offers much bigger offerings other than the 10 terabyte hardware as a service offer. So if they wanted to grow into even bigger appliance offers where they want to purchase the appliance, our appliances actually go up to 170 terabytes. And then we have a direct-to-cloud model as well offered. So they're really entering into a platform that they can grow with and grow their business and evolve with for any option that might come along their way. So this is something that, you know, again, we're a month and a half into the offering, and we've learned from conversations and you know, some of the deals that we've made, and this is one that we really wanted to make sure we positioned for you. You know, very good growth opportunity for these customers. Yeah, and you know, and another thing that we've learned is if you've got an eVault partner, eVault partners are able to sell E2 as well. So it goes the other way as well. So if you've got an eVault partner, or if you're an eVault partner and you sell some of the bigger stuff, and you've got a subset of your customers that, you know, you feel there may have been a gap on the smaller end, the small business side, you can definitely jump in and sell E2 as well. So it kind of works both ways. Yep. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the opportunity for channel partners. So who is the ideal E2 customer? You know, I think, you know, as I've probably said the small business word a bunch of times throughout the webinar, it really is targeted at the small business. You know, we feel that the market is underserved as you get on the smaller end of customers from a size perspective, and E2 looks to fill that gap. So if you've got a small customer that's got under a terabyte of protected footprint, and they're 1 to 5 servers that they're looking to protect, E2 is really ideal for them. And it's important to note that E2 is HIPAA compliant. So if you've got some leads or businesses that are in the healthcare, pharmaceutical, or insurance industries, this really covers their compliance needs. And again, any customer that wants an on-prem backup solution but doesn't have any rack space or doesn't want to use that rack space, E2 is ideal for. So, you know, if you've got customers that fit this mold, E2 is definitely a great thing for them. And so a couple other things that we offer with this. I mentioned that this is an all-in-one solution. The offer is simple, the technology is simple, and what we build around it is simple as well. So valet install comes free with E2. So if you'd like to utilize one of our sales engineers to do the install and walk you through the steps that you needed to get you up and running so that your backups are all good, that's something that comes with it. Additionally, we offer seeding, which essentially, if you've got a poor network connection and you want to take that server or the initial snapshot of that server and ship us, we can ship you a device. You can walk through some very simple steps to load the data from that server onto that device and ship it back to us. And we'll actually put it directly in the cloud for you so that you don't have to worry about a long initial backup. And then from there on out, it's forever incremental, so the backup will be small enough not to worry about that network connection. In addition to that, we offer courier recovery, which is the same process but reverse. So we can send you a device and you can recover it. Both the seeding and courier recovering come with a small fee, but it is something that we can offer from a technology perspective. And so, yeah, we have another thing I'll note from a process or purchasing perspective is this follows the same deal registration that your standard Carbonite SMB deals will follow. So we give you a deal registration code, you enter it in the order, and you'll get the additional discount and margin for that. And so you're also purchasing it from the same place that you purchase other Carbonite SMB products on the Carbonite Partner Portal. And so you should be used to the type of order form that is included in there, and it's the same place that you order, let's say, some of the other products, and so it's not a different place or anything like that. And we offer a rebate too, which we'll get to. Yeah. And so from a pricing perspective, this is probably the slide that you're most interested in. And so we offer, as mentioned, a half a terabyte and a terabyte, and so that's a minimum commit. So it basically the price that you pay allows you to have a protected footprint up to that amount. And so, for example, the half a terabyte 1-year option is $19.99, and you can see the curve upward for 2 years and 3 years. The 1 terabyte is $34.99, and you see the overage column there. So what that means is, you know, we really wanted to focus with this model on making sure the product always works. And so we have an overage model where if you go over your minimum commit, we will charge you a small fee to keep, and the products will keep backing up, and then you'll get charged those fees for whatever overage you have. And so similar to a cell phone plan, the product will not stop working. It will if you go over that minimum commit. Okay. And we do offer a back-end rebate for the remainder of the year. So there's 3 weeks left in the year. So you have an opportunity to get $500 if you sell a 1 terabyte, and $150 if you sell the half a terabyte. And so, yeah, if you like rebates and spiffs, which I think we all do, take a hard look at that. Okay. And I'll end with a competitive comparison of the eVault platform in general. So this actually isn't specific to E2, it's for eVault, but of course E2 is on the eVault platform, so I think it's important to note this. So we entered an engagement with a company called Research Now, who's a global research firm, and they helped us do a survey of 200 IT decision makers across a bunch of different industries who have different backup and recovery solutions. And we wanted to get a feeling, just at a satisfaction level, how they felt about eVault compared to some of the competitors. And some of the categories are reliability, security and compliance, ease of use, et cetera. You can see the attributes there. And we're happy to say that there were 5 categories that eVault came in #1 on that survey: reliability, recovery capabilities, ease of use, customer support, and storage capacity. And so just giving you a flavor of the platform that your customers will be entering into when they purchase E2. So again, proven over the past 20 years, lots and lots of customers using it, especially on appliances, which is why we're so excited to put a small business-based product out to the channel for. So yeah, really excited. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to our portal and see if our backup has completed. So it'll have me log in again. And let's take a look. The backup has completed. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show for you how to do a file level restore. And so you would click under Action and you'd click Restore. And what I'm going to choose is that first option in that slide I showed you, individual files or folders. So I'm going to configure. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to exit the presentation, and I'm going to remotely log into the server, which is a server here on Carbonite premises, and I'm going to see if I'm going to delete some files. And then we're going to recover those files. So give me a moment. I'm going to log into the server. Okay, so this is the server. I'm going to go into Documents, and I'm just going to delete all the files here. And just for good measure, I'm going to go into the recycling bin and delete all those files. Let's just refresh and show you that it's gone. Okay, so it's gone. The files are gone. I might have made a big mistake, or maybe I didn't. We'll see. We'll see if the restore works. So I'm going to bring this over here, see if I can use split screen here. Okay, and then I'm going to bring up my portal, and I'm going to show you, we're going to replace this, we're going to restore the C drive, and here's a cool thing. So it already recognizes that I already have a C drive on the server we backed up, so it's giving us the available drive letters. And so I'm going to choose just drive A. We're going to restore to drive A, and we're going to mount that volume. And so once I hit mount that volume, it stops me because I did not type in my encryption password. So hopefully I remember that encryption password, and we're going to click mount volumes again. And what we should see appear here is a new drive, which is the mounted image of the backup I chose. So if it works, it will show us that. So it's processing, and there you see it right there. So you've seen the whole image mounted here, which is the one backup I have. But if we had been backing up for a year, I'd be able to choose any backup in that year of backups, last 30 days, and then previous 11 months, once a month, that I mentioned on the previous slide. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into this mounted drive. I'm going to select all the files that I deleted. I'm going to go back into the C drive, which is now empty, where the documents is empty. I'm going to paste them in there. let them load. So now, it's a mounted drive, so now it's pulling the files over from the appliance to the actual server. And there it is. The files that I had deleted previously are now there. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see if I can work the split screens here, but I'm going to press stop on this. Press stop, and what you'll see is in the server, you'll see the RAM disk A disappear, and we're all set. And so if you're a partner remotely managing your customers, that's all you have to do to allow them to restore at any point in the last year. If you're an end customer and if your end customer does not want to be managed by the partner, they can do that themselves as well, all with the portal, remote management portal account. And so that's it. So you've seen a live demo of a backup configured, auto-configured. You've seen the backup complete, and then you've seen us do a restore remotely on a server that's here in our environment at Carbonite. And so with that, I'm going to see if we can stop sharing and then answer a few questions.